It's a bird! It's a plane! It's whiskers! Hey, it might not seem like an animal that sits and stares at a blank wall could be confused with Superman, but cats really do have some awesome superpowers. Take for example, number 1, super flexibility. Our fluffy feline friends can squeeze themselves to fit anywhere they want. Some even say that cats are a liquid life form, but further studies are needed to prove this theory. All jokes aside, cats' super flexibility comes from the fact that their arms aren't connected to their body through bones. That is, they don't have collarbones that normally prevent you or me from squeezing into a tight space. A cat's shoulders are fixed to its body via muscle tissue instead of joints and bones. This adaptation allows them to shrink their little fluffy bodies to almost half their size. The only part of a cat's body that can't do this trick is, of course, its skull. But if its head fits into the narrow space where the cat wants to go, then its whole body will fit there with no problem. And as a rule, if they fits, they sits. And if you've ever seen a sleeping cat, you probably saw it in a twisted pose that would give any contortionist a run for their money. But a cat can comfortably doze off like this thanks to the unique structure of their spine. Each vertebra in their backbone has a super elastic disc that allows cats to bend and twist their spine much more than most other animals can. Ooh, this hurts my back just thinking about it. Number 2. Incredible agility. Have you ever tried to catch a cat with your bare hands? Well, if that kitty doesn't want you to get a hold of it, which is usually the case, it has special superpowers to escape your pursuit. You see, these domesticated hunters are still well built for their original purpose. They're fast and powerful. What? My fluffy, chubby, lazy whiskers? A powerful hunting machine? Well, it's true. Even without a running start, a cat can jump up to 8 times its height because its whole body shrinks down and springs up with great force. On average, a cat can jump an astonishing 4 feet high and leap over 10 feet. And while you're out there going for daily runs and working out to beef up your agility, your cat can just lie around all day like a bump on a log. Yet when it wants to, it can turn into a furry little rocket in a second and outrun you every time. That is, unless you can run 30 miles per hour. Number 3. Super senses. Cats can hear your heartbeat. They know everything that happens on their territory in an instant. They can see in pitch darkness, and they live in another dimension where smells are everything. If that's not the definition of a superpower, then I don't know what is. All of a cat's senses are top-notch. Their eyes are naturally adapted for hunting tiny animals at night. They can spot every little movement around them instantly, and their eyesight is overall 6 times better than yours. A cat's ears may be adorable, but they're not just for looks. In fact, they're a true masterpiece of nature. What you experience as silence is filled with all kinds of sounds for a cat, and they can focus on any sound in particular thanks to a complex system of 27 muscles constantly coordinating movements in their ears. Interestingly enough, even with such sharp hearing, cats naturally may not even react to the loudness of a sound. But an unfamiliar sound, no matter how quiet it is, will catch their attention immediately. That's why sometimes you find your cat seemingly just staring at a blank wall. That explains it. Now, as for their world that's run by smells, if you open a window just for some fresh air, your kitty gets hit with a wave of new information in the form of scents. Cats can learn so much from a single smell, a roadmap to the nearest restaurant, possible dangers around, and even profiles of some singles out there. Yeah, kinda like Tinder for cats. Sniff left or right, I guess. It's all possible because they have this thing called Jacobson's organ. It's a little sensory receptor behind their upper teeth, and it allows cats to sorta taste the air that they smell. When a cat suddenly opens its mouth and sits like that for no reason, it's actually scanning its surroundings. Number 4. Extraordinary stealth. While nothing can escape its super senses, a cat itself can just disappear out of sight. One minute your kitty was lying next to you on the couch, the next, poof, it's in the kitchen munching on some kibble, and you didn't hear a thing. Again, it's all thanks to their special skeletal structure, which makes a cat's steps completely quiet. I'm sure you've seen a cat crouch down, pin its body almost to the ground, and then shoot itself forward to pounce on a toy or playmate, all without making a single sound. Well, this superpower helped their wild ancestors hide from danger or hunt for prey. Now, they just pounce on you. Number 5. Always landing on their feet. Here's a classic cat superpower. Even if a kitty starts to fall with its feet up in the air, it'll always land gracefully on its paws. And once again, it's all thanks to a body structure built for survival. You see, the front and back side of a cat move independently while it's in midair. First, a cat twists down its front feet, fixates them like this, and then pulls the back part around too. It's absolutely impossible to do any other way, and cats are one of the very few species that can do this. Not to mention, felines can fall from unbelievable heights without hurting themselves. There are even cases of cats falling from as high as the 32nd story of a building and surviving unscathed. From such great heights, it's not only about landing on their feet. It's also thanks to the fact that as a cat is falling, it stretches its arms and legs out to the sides and uses its own body like an umbrella, effectively slowing down the speed at which it falls. Although it doesn't always happen this way, and cats can seriously injure themselves after falling from just the 5th floor. So, it should go without saying, but I'm gonna say it anyways, be careful with your feline friends. They may have superpowers, but they still need to be treated with care. Don't throw your cat out the window. That's just stupid. Number 6. Masters of imitation. You know where the term copycat comes from? Yep, my 3rd grade math class. That's how I was able to pass. No, I'm kidding. Copycat could have something to do with the fact that cats are masters of imitation. For example, when a cat folds its ears back against its head and hisses, it becomes truly fearsome for any animal because it resembles a snake. And nobody wants to bother a snake, that's for sure. Another way cats use imitation for survival is by fluffing up their fur and arching their back. This makes them look bigger and more intimidating, especially when accompanied by a long, menacing growl. But the most elaborate trick in a cat's arsenal is one that was developed by thousands of years living alongside people. Any guesses as to what this superpower might be? It's meowing. Yep, those cute sounds cats make are, in fact, just a clever way of copying us humans. The thing is, cats never meow at each other. These sounds are only for human ears. And a cat's meow mimics the same frequency a human baby cries at. We're naturally inclined to pay much more attention to such sounds, so it's convenient for a cat that desperately wants a treat from you. Number 7. 9 lives. Of course, this one is a myth and cats only have 1 life, just like everybody else does. But they can heal really fast, and their survival skills are absolutely unchallenged. One secret to this seemingly sci-fi regeneration skill is their purring. It's believed that a cat's purr vibrates their body tissues and helps heal wounds and even mend bones. You think that cats sleep so much just because they're lazy? Well, that's where you're wrong. Because cats need their 16 hours of sleep precisely to provide themselves with enough energy to be productive when it's time to hunt, play, or inspect their territory. Cats know that a good sleep is the key to being healthy and energetic. We have a lot to learn from them if you think about it. Well, I don't know about you, but on that note, I'd say it's time for a cat nap. Maybe I'll get 9 lives too. Doubtful. But I can dream, can't I? Hey, do you know any other impressive cat superpowers? Let me know down in the comments. And don't forget to give this video a like, share it with your friends, and click subscribe to stay on the bright side of life.